There are women who enter a room quietly, and there are women who transform the space just by being unapologetically themselves. Today on HERcast with Dr. Chito, we meet one of those women, Comfort Booth, a lawyer, media personality, creative mind, and bold truth teller. Comfort embodies the power of authenticity. From the courtroom to the screen, from the Real Housewives of Abuja to the many platforms where she gives women a voice, her story is a masterclass in courage, creativity, and becoming. She shows us that true beauty isn't about perfection or pleasing the world. It's about owning every part of who you are and expressing it with confidence and grace. So settle in. This is one conversation you feel long after it ends. Welcome, Comfort Booth, to HERcast with Dr. Chito.
Thank you for having me. I wasn't sure that was me you were talking
It was you. It was you. Because when I wrote the opening, I said this was the first thing I thought when you walked in. So nobody needs to even know your background. When you walk into a place, you just know this is someone that's truth-telling, says it as it is.
Yeah.
And is authentic.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
It's something you just see from the very first time you meet. So
thank you.
This is you. Very much you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. I'm humbled.
I know it took a long time coming though. Yes, because you're busy. And I was always like, oh, when is she gonna get that little
busy
break?
Too.
Yeah.
You're busy too.
But I don't know. I think you're busier. I don't travel anywhere.
Okay, no, I like to travel.
I
like to travel.
You like to travel. Okay, I'm going to jump right in because I want us to use the time we have for people to really, because I feel women will benefit because from your thoughts, your journey, your journey to becoming.
Yes.
Many women benefit from it because, even some of the little things we've talked about already before we started, I already know is going to make huge impact.
Thank you.
Now, in one of your interviews, I believe, you described yourself as contradiction. Right? Strong, yet soft, bold, yet deeply grounded. What has embracing that contradiction taught you about womanhood and authenticity?
When I said that I was a contradiction, I didn't realize it was going to, resonate with quite a number of people, because we tend to think that contradiction means that you are either two-faced or you are not showing up as you should, or you show up only in certain places for certain people at certain times. While in a sense that is true, it is how you do turn up without telling lies about who you are that makes the contradiction clear. So now let's go back. If we take, for example, strong and soft, my basic nature is to be strong. That's my basic nature. That's my default. However, I know when I need to be soft without being weak. So the strength will still come through, but empathy comes into it. So you will be surprised to see this person who was, quite straight, firm and all that, looking as if, oh, she's not going to back down and all, soften and still say literally the same thing in a softer way. And so the contradiction when you talk about womanhood, especially, is societal. If I'm going to connect the two, contradiction and womanhood, it would look like a woman is contradictory because all these different facets of her are expected across board, across everywhere she has to turn up. The husband, the children, the in-laws, the boss, her friends, her siblings. You see, and then church or whatever religion it is that you follow. As a woman, in all these different facets, you're not the same person.
Yes.
And society demands it of you.
Yes.
Now, patriarchy doesn't even help because they want the traditional woman, but they're looking for modern independence.
Yeah.
Now, what does that lead to? That pressure on women, where it looks as if she's contradicting herself in all these roles in trying to keep up, is burnout and internal conflict.
Yes. Definitely.
Yes, burnout and internal conflict.
Definitely.
I think the burnout is real because I think I've gone through burnout.
I'm going through it now.
Okay, well, I'm still struggling to come out of it, and this has been years.
Yes, burnout is real.
Burnout is real.
Functioning while burnt out.
So authenticity, how can you be contradictory and authentic? For me, it's as simple as just not lying. I'm not being soft because I can't be strong or I'm trying to butter to you. No, it's because the situation requires that. And I can dig deep into me and bring that out and connect with you. Simple.
And I think I had that follow-up question, which you've kind of answered, where I was saying, how has that balance shaped the way you show up in spaces that often expect women to choose one version of themselves? And you just talked about the fact that, you know, in every different parts of our lives, we're different versions
Yes.
of ourselves in that particular space.
Correct.
And you kind of show up in that version for that particular moment, right?
But being genuine.
But being in that, yeah.
Yes. So the problem there is, you hear people say, I don't think she was being honest too. I know. So you can't go there not, if you don't mean it, you don't feel it, then don't be it. Simple.
Simple. That's
simple.
That's a hashtag right there. You've walked confidently through so many worlds. Law, that's your, you know, media, reality TV, and advocacy. What moment or decision do you feel marks the true beginning of your becoming? What really gave that expression?
I love that. I would say when I gave birth to my daughter. Yeah, I would honestly say, and this is why. When I gave birth and I was leaving the hospital, I forgot her.
You forgot her in the hospital?
I forgot her because I didn't understand what it meant. I don't understand. I came here one. They said this one is my own, that I should go with her to where? What was I going to do with her? I didn't know what to do. Now don't forget that I had at this point I was an independent woman. I had done all that I needed to do. Basically, I was doing what I needed to do. I was, you know, high flying and all. Even getting married was in my late 30s or mid 30s, early 33, I think 33, 34, because I had her at about 35. So it was not as if I was a spring chicken. So I was pretty set in my ways. So now there's a child that has come into it. Okay, well, what exactly do you want me to do? I have business to go and attend to. And he said, Madam, please, you forgot something. They brought it. I said, yeah, I'm finished. How am I able to do this now? And that is the one thing in this life. Nothing else has confounded me like giving birth. And so that was the pivot for me. Because now I had to be somebody else to this person. I couldn't be this strong entrepreneur and political, I'm all over the place person. I needed to be grounded for her. And so that was where it changed for me. And I thought that if this girl is going to have a chance at life, I have to dig deep into me and use everything that God has given me for her, her survivor. I'm not going to be here forever, and I had no intention of having another child. So I think that was part of it. I'd already determined.
This is your boldness inside this.
Honestly,
the way she's like that, I didn't plan to.
I did not. And
he was the only.
I not even discussed with the other
and
person.
This is why I say you're authentic. You know what I mean? This is the authenticity about it.
And I hadn't discussed with my husband there that I was, you see, again, because of the age, and I was used to doing things on my own. I didn't even know that I was supposed to have the conversation and agree. But I had decided this one. So I was going to do everything that needed to be done for her, so that when I'm not around, circle of life, the hope is that I will live before her. I would have set the path for her. And I want her to see that you're not just one person. You're just not one thing. You're not just one talent. You are this expression of God's creation, an embodiment. And he said, that promise that go into the world, procreate, dominate on the earth, underneath and up, is you also. And so that talent, the spiritual gifts he gives you, now.
Yes.
How do you do that without finding it and expressing yourself? Yeah.
That was your time of becoming.
That was my time of becoming, yeah.
Was there a turning point where you decided to stop fitting in and start standing out unapologetically? I'm sure do you remember turning point, or that was always you?
No, that had always been me. I don't think it was even an issue of a thought. However, I would give this small story. Maybe you could relate it to that. Okay. Primary school, and somebody either beat me or abused me. You know how children are. So I rush home.
Yes.
Crying. And I tell my dad. And then my dad beats me. I don't know. You're supposed to beat the other person. And he said to me, don't you ever come back here. and tell me that you were beaten or you were spoken to anyhow. Do you know who you are? And then he called his son name. Okay, what was that supposed to mean to me? But what I learned in that moment was that I did not have succor. I will need to take care of my problems. I'll have to show up for myself. I'll have to stand for myself. I'll have to fight for myself. And I think if there's going to be any point, maybe that would be it. And so
that was it, actually.
Okay, so that was it, right? And
that was it.
Okay,
Based
so
on that
fine.
story,
yes,
that was it.
Okay, then fine. No, so that was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He beat me. I said, why are you coming here to shout and cry? I was like, do you know who you are? Don't you ever come? And I never did.
Wow.
Never did.
Now, my next question is on the Real Housewives of Abuja. Like, when I saw you there, I was like, ooh, she's bringing this authenticity to the stage. You know, this is going to be lit. This is going to be really different. So in the Real Housewives of Abuja, you know, we saw different sides of you, right? Confident, grounded, compassionate, direct. Yeah. How did that experience challenge or affirm your sense of self? Tell me what that experience was. Because being in reality TV is a whole different, I would think it's a different ball game.
So the challenge and what was the next one?
Your challenge and or affirm your sense of self. So how did that experience challenge or affirm your sense of self?
So it won't be or. For me, it will be and. So
okay,
it challenged and then it now affirmed my sense of self.
Okay.
So now going on to the reality show, I had never watched more than one episode of at that point and that was years ago. I think it was the flagship was Real Housewives of Atlanta. Okay. I think I'd watched the first one. You can imagine how many years ago that was. And then this came up. And at that point in my life, I told you I was going through a burnout.
Yes.
So I was looking for something else to do and all. And so I just felt, okay, you know, God has thrown this into my lap. So let's do this. You see,
I love the pause there.
You know, especially when you are coming from a totally different perspective, totally different mindset. So here am I, this professional go-getter entrepreneur, you know, politics, work, you know, moving all around and all. So reality TV, as you said, is a totally different ballgame. As you can see, it didn't connect with my world at all. So I literally was thrown into the deep end. And I just was told, it's just going to be a group of women. You people will be gisting and talking and all. Okay, we'll just gist now. Everybody will go home. See, when they say that women, we are our own greatest problem and some women get angry when women say it and all. I think if we accept it and try to look, how do we work through this so that we're not our own biggest problem, I think we'll make more headway. But then again, the whole idea of the reality show was to throw dirt, throw shade, insult, I guess, you know, get a rise out of someone so that they'll, you know, people will become disgrace themselves on TV and all that. Okay. However, you don't always have to be ratchet in the gutter, rolling like pigs in the mud because we're trying to, you know, get our point across, or I'm trying to tell you that I'm not happy with how you know, spoke to me and all that. There are classier ways of doing it, quite frankly. And I'm glad to say I did bring that to screen.
Yes, you did.
So you can be all that, but in a classier way. So it challenged me in the way that, okay, these are not my regular females. Does that make me better than them? No. Does that make me better than them? Yes.
No and yes.
Yeah, no and yes. No and yes. Will I be able now to handle different versions of women? Most likely. So it was a learning curve because
there's something to learn everything.
Yes,
you do.
because I'm not a woman's woman. Mm-hmm. I'm a guy. How do you say it? A woman man. That one that my circle is more men.
Yes.
More males. So I'm more masculine in my thinking.
Because you don't have patience for a lot of
No, I don't.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
That's why when I saw you there, I said,
no, I don't. I'm very logical. I'm very straight to the point. No, I don't. I
straight
really
to the
don't.
point. What are you doing? What are you saying?
Yeah, okay. But you see, I also had to now, going to your next question, you know, the grounding of self. I also had to come to the realization that I am not a man. I am a woman. And there will be parts of me that I need to feminize bring back to the feminine fold, not necessarily being ratchet and all that.
Because that doesn't. I always say being ratchet does not define woman.
Yes,
at all.
It doesn't. But
it's fitting into a narrative that should not exist.
But we do rise to the occasion and be that.
That's the problem.
Be catty, snotty, nosy, gossipy, all those things, as you said, which we don't necessarily have to be.
No, we don't.
But just like when you see a woman driving, or you see somebody driving and drives in a certain way, what's the first thing you say? I'm sure na woman.
So my driver said it one time. Now that I'm sure na woman, we turn na one man.
I
said,
a man.
Yes, it's a man.
So you see, it's those scenarios, So while it was a challenge, honestly, it opened my eyes to certain things that I needed to also do that.
Yes.
I can't say that I want to advocate for women or talk for women and all that, and not in a sense understand the more emotional side of women, because it's emotions that drives us to do all these things. Men are logical, and women are not logical. Emotional. We're more emotional, deadlier, but more emotional. Yeah. So
is that deadlier?
Yeah, we are deadlier. Oh yes, we are deadlier.
But we're smart. We're intelligent.
That's what makes us deadlier. And we multitask.
We multitask.
A woman that can do 10 things at the same time, look calm under pressure. A man, you catch him because he's focused on you. That's why men are caught easily now, because they can only focus on one thing at a time.
Yes.
And so when a man's focus changes,
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. A woman is doing 10 things.
Yes, sir, and you cannot tell.
In 10 different ways. And you can't tell.
You cannot tell. What is true?
Yeah.
So so now after season 1, what did you come out with? What is that thing? You said there's something you will learn. So what was the big thing you learned actually in this reality TV show?
That I shouldn't do it again.
She said it.
I shouldn't do it again. Because if I decide to do it now, there's ego, there's pride, and you want to So because I took it that time, now those people now know that, okay, this is who you are, right? Or that you have the capacity to take their nonsense. And this time you probably want to come and say, no. I'll show you my own way too. It's possible. But you want to now go and be... How many ways do you want on the TV? But honestly, what I did learn from it is that I'm glad I was given the opportunity. It was an opportunity. So I took it. I did my best. I stayed true to myself. It was very difficult, but I stayed true to myself. And because of that, I shockingly resonated with the country Africa. And I was blessed to have a lot of young women, especially, reach out. How can I? And for me, that was the greatest blessing, that people saw beyond all that and said, there's something in this person that I can tap into, and hopefully should help me and whatever. And I think that's been the biggest blessing for me.
And that's important. And I think it's to show that this authenticity we talk about so much, people look at like, oh, what does that mean? But many people are attracted to it, and many people crave for it. So especially in a world now that is so full of perceptions and not realities. Like, even reality TV is not reality.
No, reality TV.
And so it's something that I believe that we should really, really, hone into.
So what is authenticity? You see, I think that is where a lot of people miss it. So from the time you're born, you are told what to do. Keep quiet, sit down here, don't stand. You are making a mess, and also all those voices are in you and tell you who you are. So we morph, we become that. The problem here is that we're not told, or we're not guided that, okay, you know what, but now that you're about to go to secondary school, I'm not going to be there anymore telling you what to do or how to be.
Yes.
You have to now begin to decide, what does Comfort like? What doesn't she like? How does Comfort want to turn up? How is she going to make friends? How is she going to value herself? That transition isn't clearly made for us. It isn't clearly made for us. Yes. And that's what I think causes the, in quote, lack of authenticity we see from people, because we now become average. We now blend with society. the most difficult thing in life is honestly being who you are, being true.
To who you are.
I say I don't like people. Is it by force?
Mm-hmm.
But when somebody hears you say that, just look at this Obanje, look at this witch. So you are forced to not say that, or forced to come out and pretend all the time that you like people. And then you become abnormal. You don't like the people. You are forced to be in their presence. So you are awkward. And then you now open yourself up again for more ridicule. But imagine if truly you say you don't like people and you're not in their presence and all that. You are facing your lonely life. You enjoy your solitude. You enjoy your creativity. You are moving. So when I mean you don't like people, it's not that you detest people. It's just that your genetic makeup is more into yourself.
You're more introverted.
Yes, it's more into yourself. You have probably a very tight, small circle around you, which works perfectly well for you. So that don't force you, to be out there. But you see, that's not society. Say no, we should all be. Meanwhile, that's not you, and so that's what causes the discomfort and the conflict, and makes you appear as if you are not being honest and not being genuine. So imagine if we allowed people to be more of themselves. Be more realistic. I went into the bank today, and the lady behind the counter looked at me and said, "Excuse me, ma, is this your hair?" So I said, "Yes, it is." So she said, "Okay." So I now said to her, "Next time, you've no business asking anybody whether it's her hair or not." Is that clear? She smiled. So I said, "Let me tell you why." I said, "The hair on your own, is it your own?" She said, "No." I said, "Did I ask you?" And she said, "No." I said, "Because I didn't care." I said, "It looks nice on you." I said, "And if we're going to even look at it from another perspective, is it not on your head?" So at that point, it is your hair. So she said, I said, "Yes." So next time somebody asks you, "Is it your hair?" Even if it is not your own, it's glaringly not your own, say, "Yes, it is," with a smile and move on. Ask the person, make a compliment or whatever. I said, because it puts pressure on us when people ask all these stupid questions that are unnecessary, in trying to either quickly think, am I going to keep up with the Joneses? Should I say it? Should I explain? You begin to, am I going to have to explain myself why I did it? And I say, you owe
nobody any
explanation. Is that clear? So that was, and she knows that. So I said, that will make you show up more for who you than them.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Now, your creativity. You've written and produced creative works. You wrote on love, lost, and other things in 2023, and served as a writer and an executive producer on The Hotel Room in 2024. What draws you towards storytelling and production, and what kinds of story are you most drawn to telling?
And my documentary, Winter of a Woman's Life.
Yes, Winter for a Woman's Life.
Yeah, Winter of a Woman's Life. That's on menopause. Yes.
Which is a topic which something that people don't talk about, but need to talk about.
Yeah,
and now that people are even listening and hearing, more people are coming out and telling. I'm seeing more people coming to me with symptoms than I did a year ago and 2 years ago.
Yes, so on the last week, I've had 2 interviews on menopause. So, and I'm really happy that and the media houses are picking it up and like, oh, please, and all that. Okay, so raw talent from God is to write. I have that talent. I write, and when I started using the talent to write, it was just on various topics. I could write on anything. I would write on anything. I had a blog called Diary of a Stupid Woman. I still have it. I use it in the newspaper, but it was called Diary of a Stupid Woman. Small story behind it. I've been asked how I got the name, and I think this is probably a good form to say it's Diary of a Stupid Woman. My marriage wasn't going well. And one day I just walked into my daughter's room and I had an epiphany. And I just said, "Oh, you've been a stupid woman." That was it. And so immediately that came, I said I needed to write for the therapy, to make myself happy or get out of, the headspace that I was. And so that was how Diary of a Stupid Woman was birthed. And I started writing articles. Then I started writing stories because I had it in me. It was there. But interestingly, I've never been able to finish. I have manuscripts. I've never been able to take it from the beginning to the end. No, I haven't been able to. The first that I did try was my collection of short stories, which was to be published. And it was this guy, Ogani from Punch. I met him on the plane, didn't know him, sitting down next to each other. We were both reading. So we caught each other's attention because we were reading, and I told him, and then he became my mentor and made me write all my short stories I was to publish. At that point, I went to Afrif and I decided, I'm going to turn one of my short stories into a short film. And then that was how the hotel room, came out.
Wow.
So I like to write on, so the collection of short stories, which is the theme of all my writings, especially books, is tell them that it's human nature. We vilify human nature. We do. We actually vilify it. We are bad and good people at the same time. There's nobody that is good, pure good, nope. Because everybody is 9 over 10. That's God made sure that we're not 10 over 10. Only God is 10 over 10, right? So there's human nature. And the part of human nature that throws itself up the most is the relationship between a man and a woman. Yes. It is the one that has the most sin. It's the one that has the most drama. It's the one that has the most love, challenges, that. So when I write, it's actually x-raying the relationships between men and women. Just that the gray area of, whether it was love, romance, hate. Why didn't you end up marrying the so-called love of your life? Then it comes to bite you in the ass later on because you guys meet up, or you marry the love of your life and you guys realize that, we should have done this earlier. So many things. So that is the genre. And if you watch Love, Loss and Other Things, it was about that. Hotel Room was about that. Literally all my stories actually is about human nature, but specifically between man and woman.
Oh, so that's how you, and then, so what the other question I wanted to find out there is, you have another, so even the story, Love, Lost and Other Things, of course, that's obviously between women. So that means your theme, say it again, because you said that, the theme, the thing that draws you is human nature.
Yes.
Okay.
Specifically, the intersection of the male and the female life. Especially because there's so much drama in that. And it's human nature. It's our nature so it's in the nature of the man to hunt. It's in the nature of the woman to position herself to be hunted for. She's in position to nurture, whether it's the man or whatever it is that he brings. It's that intersection where, it's love, hate, the gray area. Should I have been with him? Should I have been with her? Why can't we be together? The emotions are there, the feelings are powerful. There's the lust there. There's a drama, and we vilify it. We fight against it rather than work with it. Yes, and that tension is what causes a lot of our problems. So I like to x-ray that. I like to delve into it. If we went in this direction, how would it have looked?
True.
Yes.
True. All right. So now, you often describe yourself as someone who tells that it is. You don't need to describe. You are someone who tells as it is. Has that honesty ever come with a cost? Because I feel sometimes telling as it is in our climb sometimes will definitely come at a cost. And what have you learned about truth telling in a world that sometimes fears it?
Every single day it comes at a cost. Every single day. Because our human nature does not like the truth. We would rather hide under a rock. I don't want to know. Don't tell me. Pretend you didn't see it. But how do you live like that if the truth is actually there staring you in the face and it can help you? It can correct something. But the bad side of us is usually overwhelmingly strong. We'd rather do the wrong things.
Yes.
We'd rather go the wrong way than to do the right thing. So yes, it comes at a cost. I'm ostracized. Yes, I am. I'm vilified. Then people would, just come up with all sorts of stories. But I've also come to understand that the fact that I am honest or I tell it as it is doesn't mean that I always have to. I think that's what I'm now learning, to temper. So I'd keep quiet. If you make the mistake of telling me, I will tell you. Asking me, I will tell you. But if you don't ask me, I will not say. Now, even when you ask me, I will still look now and determine, do I need to expend my energy here? in telling this truth, because clearly this person is not asking me, or this situation is not asking me because they really want to change, or they want to take it into, they're probably just trying to get a rise out of me, or rile, or just hear me talk. And so I can decline not to. Before, it didn't matter. I will tell it. We'll be going, we'll tell it. I didn't mean anything by it. I just felt, okay, this is it. You need to know it and all that. But now I'm tempering it because I need to protect my own boundaries. It's not about them. It's actually my peace of mind. So the less I'm saying the truth to who is not ready to listen to it, the better it is and easier it is for me. How do you navigate that in a world that doesn't want you to tell the truth? There are times that you must speak up. Yes. You have to. You don't wait for anybody to say it. But now the difference is you look at the situations and ask yourself, is this where my truth telling is going to carry more weight? Will there be more people who will resonate with it to be able to help it blossom and go further? The answer is yes, then that's when you talk. Other than that, honestly, sip your wine and relax.
You know, I think that really, like when I think of my becoming, I think that's really one of the major things I've learned. And of course, my activism or my advocacy has always been either healthcare or women. But sometimes you go into situations just like today. Let me give you a simple example. I was just, on my own IG page trying to answer something, and this post came out and of a female politician who has been harassed, right? And it just came out like this. And my instinct was, I'm going to just say what I have to say. I now looked at it and I said, do I really need to say what I have to say on this particular platform?
Exactly.
And I have to do the 4-4-4, breathe in, breathe, and okay, let it pass. Because in our climb, there's so many things that are just like, there's so many things to say. I feel like every day, in form of justice, in form of why things are not working, in form of what you're seeing, and not criticism. Just like you feel, why are we thinking of the solution? The solution is obvious. The solution for what we're talking about is right there. The injustice is obvious. And when there's injustice, there are people that can turn that around. Yes. So what are we talking about? Do you understand?
I agree with you, absolutely.
And this is one of the reasons why recently I reduced all these stakeholder meetings, right? Because I felt there's so many meetings, no implementation. And I now said, I need to say something. And I'm like, Chito, you don't know what they're getting from these meetings.
Exactly.
So breathe in, out, and just when they invite me, say, I'm sorry, I cannot attend.
Oh my God, that's it.
Because I can't attend and be quiet. And there's never any. So I feel that growing older, I started learning also when to just breathe. I have to breathe in. I'm not yet good at it, but to learn when to breathe in and out, and just, you don't need to say anything. And even relationships, somebody could throw something and I'm thinking, I'll let that ride. Because there are times I won't let it ride. I'll tell you exactly what you did to upset me. But in my mind, not everything needs to be communicated as much. I'm like, okay, I'll let that ride.
Yeah, so sometimes it can be non-verbal.
Because, and that's
so I'm learning the non-verbal cue now. Maybe if I don't answer you, something will tell you that there's something not right. You will be the one to come and try and...
Definitely. All right. Now, you have this mentorship program, Speak. You help young women find their voices. What's one truth about confidence or purpose that you wish every young woman knew? What's one truth about with this mentorship program? No, I feel like there's something you want most for these women, right? What is that thing that you want most? What is that truth about confidence and purpose? Because I feel a lot of young women, whether it's due to the world as it is or due to the lack, I think there's a less lack of mentorship. They don't know their purpose. They're jumping from one to another, trying to find that purpose in the midst of chaos, right? But for your women, what is that one way or one thing you want them to find with the Speak program?
So I started Speak because I realized that, and I was taking it from my experience, that the only way I became who I am is because I said it as it is. I spoke. I said, I took the bull by the horn and
Yes.
said, I'm going to speak.
Yes.
That was why. And I thought that it was important for women to know that you need to speak up. The society has said you should keep quiet, be in the background, you know, all that you be when you're a mother and face the children first, then we'll probably get back to you. But I wanted the woman to know that no, you can speak without being obnoxious. You can speak without going into the man's role. You can speak without being a nuisance, but you must speak your truth. The idea for me here was you must speak your truth. As if you do not speak your truth, they call it the shadow self. The shadow self is going to come out and ruin you at the time you least expect it. So what's the shadow self? It's those parts of us that we think people should not see, should not know. Let's keep it on the what, and then let's just project what society wants. No, that's not how God made you. God made you with both. You are both this and you are both that. If you bring them, let everybody see. So I'm impatient. I don't suffer fools gladly. I fly off the handle. I'm passionate. I'm giving you all my bad parts. I have a temper. Yes. If I hid all those, I really don't. I'll probably be in a mental institution by now because I'll be struggling to be all these other things. But no, I'm balancing them side by side. So if you don't want to be on the wrong side of me, please, when I ask you an intelligent question, can I have an intelligent answer, please? And I'm not even talking about intelligence here at the highest form.
Yes.
I'm talking common sense here. It's common sense. I don't understand why I should ask a common sense question and I should be expected that I should be dumped down on with stupidity, and I have no right to express my frustration with the stupidity. I'm just giving you, you know. So I wanted women to come out and be able to speak their truth. One way you speak your truth is you must be confident in the fact that you are a woman. We are not, and you are right, me and you are guilty even with what we're doing, because this is a mentorship program.
Yes.
I have a mentorship program. But are we doing enough for the next generation? Are we doing enough? How many girls' hands or young ladies' hands are you actually hand-holding and bringing her? Because they don't have enough, so they don't understand that just being a female, right, is powerful. Just being that,
Yes.
that God said you will be a female. You are carrying power, you are carrying grace, you're carrying what a man can never carry. And it is such a privilege to be a woman. They don't hear it anymore. What our young girls are now hearing, which is driven by the media, is this sense of idealism.
Yes.
She must have waist 22, hip 45. Her hair must be in a certain way. She must look a certain way for her to be appreciated. But they forget that beauty is skin deep.
Yes, skin deep.
It's going to, you will get wrinkles. You will get big stomach. You will get cellulite. You will get stretch marks. If you are not confident enough to embrace yourself wholly, with your flaws, whether it's character flaw or body flaw and all that, then how do you want to navigate the worries of the world? Because they will throw up. They will be thrown up at you. There will be nasty people who will say to you that, look at this, your K-legs. If you don't embrace and you're not confident, I have K-legs, but they wear high heel, and I wear shorts, man. We will oil the leg. We will go. Are you the one that gave me the K-legs? No, but seriously, imagine people are able to own their flaws, because that's how they are. I'm not saying that if you want to go for some enhancement, that one is between you and yourself, because God gave you the body. The body is that body. This body is not even leaving this earth. It's dust to dust now. It's another body that is going to meet him. So technically, but you have to know why you're doing these things. You have to know why you're doing these things. Any woman over 50 that comes and says she wants to do lipo and all that, I honestly would encourage her, because she has become, at that point, everything is falling apart. So if she has a little bit of panabiti to take her for the next 20 years, what's wrong with that? You know, I'm just saying. So the confidence, if I'm going to say anything, women with for confidence and purpose,
Yes.
it is not, you're not born with it, you build upon it.
Yes.
Purpose, you find it. You struggle, you make mistakes, you fall, but you keep on going.
Yes.
What makes women confident is not that she has it all together. No, it's that she knows that I have to continue. That courage is what builds the confidence. And so when you are standing in the face of Goliath,
Yes.
As a, what's the opposite of David? What's the female version? Davida.
I don't know.
I am standing in the face of Goliath.
As a Davida.
As a Davida, it's courage that you know that, you know what, I have a goal and I must get to it.
That's why I tell young women around me too. It's important. Now let's go something lighter. Your fashion sense. Where's your mohawk? That mohawk was bad. Oh, that mohawk was like, yes. You know, your fashion sense is bold, is expressive, and is unapologetically unique. What does fashion mean to you, and how do you use style as a form of self-expression?
Do you know that I did not know that fashion, apparently the fashion on Real Housewives was, my fashion was a problem. Apparently I was supposed to fit into a narrative. I didn't know. Well, I didn't know. Do you know, from production to the women themselves, I said they were always talking or whatever. Me, I did not know. I was go to my, I said, beg, let's do this thing with wing this way. Let's do it because that was me. You know, and I honestly want to say this. For women who have found themselves, you don't know the freedom you have.
Liberty.
Oh my goodness.
You're liberated.
Oh my goodness. So imagine you doing what you want to do as yourself and somebody having a problem with it, that because it does not fit a narrative. Who has the problem? Please. No, seriously. And fashion is one way of style. So fashion is the trend, right? So yes. Style is the expression of who you are. Exactly. Yes. So my style was quirky. Yes. That was basically what it was. That's what I liked. I like colors. I liked the and that's the contradiction. On that handle, I can be very conservative also in my dressing. But that's the beauty. That's the beauty of being able to, you know, walk through the different parts of who you are. And so I use it to express myself.
Look at your bold earrings right now.
And that is it. That is me. In fact,
you always have a bold statement.
That is innate. That's how I was born. Why should I come to the world and shrink for you people? Why?
Yes.
Why should you come to the world and shrink?
Yes.
Why?
No shrinking.
Especially if you believe that you are made in God's image and that God made you like this. You have rough edges. I know I do. Right? So, I mean, let's be fair. So but the people that you should allow into your life are only those who want to help you smoothen it. Not tell you, don't show up. Not tell you, no, you cannot, because my mother always told me there's no word like can't in the English dictionary. For a very long time, I didn't know what she meant. Then I later on realized what it meant. There's no word like can't in the English dictionary. And so I've lived with that. That means I can. That's basically what she was saying. Yes, I can. And I will. And I do. It's what I'm trying to tell my daughter. You must not shrink for anybody, but you must be respectful, because the world is there for you to share with other people. I do not use your money to buy my mohawk. I did not use your money to pay the saloonist to make it for me. Yes. So which one is your own? It was an issue, but a lot of people liked the mohawk.
Yes,
so a lot of people liked the mohawk.
I thought it was bold. It was great.
A lot of people hated the mohawk also because they felt, oh, you are this person, so you shouldn't. Which is part of society determining who you should be.
But I love bold statements. I love when people pick their unique style and their style fits their personality and their expression. I love it. You know, I remember the first time I met you, then you just had you're all like, you had both.
Low cut.
You had low cut, like yes. Low cut. I was like, are you Nigerian? Because you looked like you came from like, I remember I came from East Africa or something. Nigeria. Like, I was like, no, I'm Nigerian. I'm like, you are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, because he had that, you know, and I was like, okay.
And just one more thing on that, on the issue of, you know, authenticity, your fashion sense, who you are, even the mohawk. The only reason why you've not seen the mohawk now is because it's a signature. I like to do peekaboo now. So I'll go a while without it, and then just one day I'll probably just wake up and then, ta-da, we're here again, and then take it back. Yeah, but it's there. She will never.
But that's part of your creativity too.
That's part of who I am.
Yes, that's why. Okay. So now this is the final question. What do you think of that phrase, becoming her? What does that mean for you today?
For a very long time, I was lost. I didn't even know I was lost. And then when I eventually left my marriage, I realized that it was time that I needed to find myself. So that's when I started my journey of finding myself and speaking my truth. And so it was then I started looking at, okay, what were the triggers? What was the trauma? What was the problem? Why was I this defensive? Why was I burning bridges and all that? And so when I think of the term becoming her, it's the fact that it could be any milestone in your life, any. You just have to be aware of it. That will help you to navigate, to notice first, to identify, and then navigate, because it's a journey. I'm not there, but oh my God, the journey has been beautiful. To realizing that there was something that needed to be done. That there's a lot more of me, that I have made all these mistakes, I've hurt all these people, but I was hurting myself too, and I didn't realize it. But now that I'm going to, how do we say, is it pay restitution? And the only way that I can do that is by not only bettering myself, but helping other females that I can see, I can understand. I can be very empathetic because I can understand why she's behaving in such a way. There's something. So if she's able to be honest and x-ray it, she's on her journey to becoming her.
Yeah. Perfect. If your younger self could see you now, what would she say?
She would say, well done. She would say, well done. She would say, I'm proud of you. She would say that it's not when you started, but that you even recognized it. You're being honest. You're being vulnerable about it. You've taken the bull by the horns. And she would cheer me on. And she would tell me that I don't even think you are doing enough to enjoy yourself. I think she's more interested in me enjoying myself. Yeah.
That is awesome. That is awesome. So this was a wonderful conversation, and we could go on for more and more and more and more, as the time gets wrapped up. So I think thank you so much, Comfort, for coming on. This is amazing. I know just hearing the story and just, I've known you for so long, long. Yes.
My doctor.
Yes.
My doctor.
And so it's really, really great to have you on HERcast with Dr. Chito. I really
appreciate it, and I think this was the right time for it to happen.
I'm telling you, timing. That's why you think this is like perfect timing.
No, perfect timing. If you had done this when we had first met, I wouldn't have been this rich in talking. So thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you. What a powerful reminder that becoming isn't a destination. It's a daily decision to live truthfully, love deeply, and express ourselves freely. Comfort Booth's story challenges us to embrace every shade of who we are, the strong, the soft, the creative, the evolving, because authenticity is the most beautiful thing we can wear. If this conversation spoke to your soul, don't keep it to yourself. Share it, talk about it, and let it inspire another woman's journey of becoming. Watch the full episode on YouTube, HERcast with Dr. Chito. StarTimes, channel 176, Saturdays at 7 p.m., Sundays at 2 p.m. Also streaming on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. Follow at HERcast Podcast and at Dr. Chito N for more empowering stories that celebrate the beauty, strength, and evolution of women everywhere. God bless.